All right, this is a quick walk around of this homemade Overland camping trailer. It was built based on the military trailer. This is an M101A1. Nope, excuse me, M101A2. ARE aluminum topper on it. The whole thing is covered in bed liner. I believe it was Raptor liner. I can't swear to that, but I believe that's what was put on it. T-track accessory holders down both sides. These ammo box saddlebag style mounts are on there. I've got recovery gear, shovel, some extra blocks in case we're on uneven ground and I want them for the stabilizers. It's got RV style scissor jack stabilizers on all four corners. I do have the manual crank for that, but I just use a little impact wrench with a socket on it and just zip them down. Tailgate folds down, back doors open. Scene lighting all the way around, front, back, and four corners. This is a replacement axle. The military axle that was on there was narrower and had a 5-lug system. Each lug was an inch. It was a 1-inch lug. These things were huge and they were not self-centering. This is a 1-ton trailer axle, Dexter axle, that is narrowed. It was for an industrial application, so it's narrowed but still good and wide for this. I've got 35-inch tires on here. If you have an 8 by 6.5 lug truck, then you can make the wheels and tires on this interchangeable with what's on your pickup or your Jeep. Side compartment, it's a Smitty built XL rooftop tent. It folds out and becomes a California King. And I've got the annex, which drops down underneath it to the ground, makes like a step into mudroom or a bedroom, but the ladder is then enclosed inside of a weatherproof tent. This thing does not leak. Does not have wet spots inside. It is solid. It's got a little wear and tear from being used, but overall it's in really good shape. Full size spare. It's a BF Goodrich instead of these others are Patagonia mud trains, so it's a mixed match, but it is the same size and it's still a mud train tire. Pinto hitch with a brand new, I'll say brand new, I've used it once, so I guess it's not brand new anymore. Jack on it. The jack lifted just a little bit, just to get it on the truck, and then the jack pivots back, swings up 90 degrees and repins in. I've got the truck receiver side pintle. Very heavy duty chains. What else can I say? 100 watt solar panel, and I'll get into the rest of that system once I get everything opened up and do another quick walk around on it. That's that. All right, here it is, all set up, or mostly set up. The awning is a 270 batwing awning. I can't remember the actual square inches or square footage that it covers, but it's their big one. It is hard mounted to the side, top side corner there of the trailer. It's by OVS, Overland Vehicle Systems, if I'm getting that correct. It has the fold down poles as well, telescoping poles. If there gets to be very much wind or breezy, or you're going to stay for several days, those get put down, and there are walls that you can put on right here. 3 bags hold 3 different sections that cover the whole thing and enclose this thing in to the trailer. Then with the poles down and the tent pegs, and then it tightens everything down toward the ground so the wind doesn't cause too much motion and it cause something to bend or break. This piece right here, this is just a tabletop that normally is stowed inside the trailer. It's in those T-track pieces right now. So it goes in, and there's a pin on each of these that holds it up. Otherwise you pull the pin and the table folds down if you want to put it away, stow it, but you're not going to drive. It'll just lay down. Inside the storage here, everything is carpet lined. These little bins will stay. Most of all the gadgets and the stuff I'll clean out for you. These are pretty cool. These 3 bins right here are the right size for canned goods, and those go all the way up to the top. So you can see up in there, you can drop them in the top and you can put a lot of canned goods in those spaces. These are the dividers for the main shelving area. So, you know, roughly 12 to 15 inches is what these are. Down here are some of the controls. So there's a water pump. I'll show you that here in a minute. There's 2 USB, and on the other side is a regular, like, cigarette lighter outlet. If you hit power right here, it energizes this 4-way household plug right here. So that's what these controls are about. The rest of the controls across here might be difficult to see, but they are the various LED lights around the outside. So 4 corners, and they're all marked by which direction the lights point. They're marked with little lights. So right, left, forward, and backward LED pods. This is a straight through to the other side compartment. You can see it goes all the way to the other side. There's a battery shut off. There's an inverter, a sine inverter. There is a trickle charger up there. You could plug this thing in when you're not using it, and it will keep the battery topped off. Although with the solar, as long as the solar is still on and that battery shut off is in the green, then the solar will keep it topped off. Deep cycle marine battery right there. I had thought about putting in a bank of them. Wouldn't be hard to do. There's definitely room down here for it. I had never done it yet, and for the most part, I'll tell you that battery will keep the Dometic refrigerator going, charge phones, run the lights, do a lot of stuff in a day's time. But if you're going to do much more than that, or if you're in and out of the fridge, more than just a meal or two, and you're really, using it a lot, and the fridge has to work really hard, the one battery isn't enough. It's been enough for most of what we've done, definitely enough for traveling down the road. So as long as I'm over here, there's track pieces here in the backs of these doors. These bins will stay with the trailer. So all this stuff, and you could buy more. This stuff is, available at Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. It just snaps in. You could take it off, you could move it. You could put it on the outside over here, when you're set up camping where that T-track is. Same thing over here on the outside, on the other side of the trailer. Back here, this was set up so that you could sleep on this upper deck if you wanted to. I have used it for cargo area, but you could sleep in here if a person wanted to. This is plumbing plugs that you could get in any plumbing store if you end up losing one of these or breaking one. But they just allow some ventilation in here so it doesn't get too stifling. Allows it to breathe a little bit. This is just an RV water pump. And this right here is just stored in here, but I pull it out, I stick it down through here, and I use 5-gallon jerry can style water jugs that I carry in my pickup. And then I hook this 0G hose, which whatever hose you want to use, I hook right here to the spigot, turn it on, and bada boom, you have water. And I put this on the end of it so that basically this is my controller. The pump just stays on, and anytime it loses a little bit of prime, it just kicks on for 2 seconds or so, and then I'm good to go again. I got these little propane tanks. I can't remember. I think they're 11 pounders. It probably says on there somewhere. Whatever. They're smaller than barbecue grill ones. I was going to put them like saddle style on the outside of the trailer. That's still an option. I bought it. I had a good intention to do that. Never got around to it. There's a water filter, an RV water filter back there that's green. If you were pulling from a source that you don't recognize, it's not municipal water. Maybe it's campground water and you want to filter it. It works great. this clear hose. In that case, it does have a threaded end on it. This is a Dometic refrigerator with a, I can't remember what they call the cloth case, but basically it's supposed to help it to help insulate it just a little bit better so it doesn't have to work so hard. Obviously helps keep some dirt and any wear and tear off of the thing as well. I'll show you how that works in just a second. A couple of cigarette outlet 12-volt outlets there. This one's dedicated. There's a third one up here. It's dedicated for the Dometic. You got your power controller station for solar, a couple of fuses, your individual fuses for your circuits. These just run up through up here, run all the way to the front, and that's where I showed you those other lights earlier. This is just the control hub for all that. So the Dometic pulls out on this tray. All right, let's try that again. I couldn't get it all the way out with one hand very well and keep the phone in any reasonable position. All right, so this is as low as it goes. It's about chest height, but it's really simple to just open and grab what you need. If all else fails, there is the back step. You can stand in here. The ladder, depending on how, attaches in there, depending on how high up you end up needing to be. But yeah, that's the refrigerator. It's dual climate. It can be all run from right here, but it also, in fact, I'll show you it powering up. But it also connects to phone. There's an app that you connect to, and so while you're driving down the road, you can, or while you're in the house, you can turn this on, get it cooling off to be ready for your trip. In 15 minutes or so, it will be 37 degrees inside there, because that's where I have it set. And then you can set both of the zones to be the same, like it would be like a two-sided refrigerator, or you can put one zone freezer and the other refrigerator. Either side will go down to, I can't remember, below freezing though. It'll go down to below freezing. And it's got a cord saver in the back. You can see it kind of bent over there. So as you slide it in and out, forward and backward, the cord doesn't get wrapped up down in the slide. So that's super helpful. This bottom area is a slide. The slide doesn't run the full length like the cargo area does up here, because you've got that pass-through storage that I showed you earlier up front. There's two stops that once they're out of the way, this rolls back, ball bearing slides just like you might have on a pickup truck. And this will come all the way out to the end of the tailgate. This is a Julka hot water heater, Julka hot tap. The storage box is basically a big deep well sink. The lid is two-piece. You can see it's contoured, and it fits on and slides down in these holes. Fits on and basically becomes a drying rack on either side. And then there's a shower style spigot, and there's a dishwashing style spigot. The dishwashing one clips on right here and arches over, and it literally is very, very much like a household sink. This hot water heater comes with a stand, or you can hang it. Tons of lines so that you can run it. It's got a filter, so you can just dump it in a fresh water source and it will pull water and filter it so you can take a shower. It's pretty amazing. I'll put a link below to Julka and what they do, and I'll go ahead and show you over here. I've got a Julka tent and a Julka awning. So this tent, I'll put a link below so you can look at it. It's been used once. It is in, you won't even be able to tell, it is in new shape. It is a 2-room tent with vents out the floor so that water can get out and you actually shower inside of it. And then the second room it also is vented through the floor, but it's like a changing room, or you could put a commode in there. The smaller container here is a front awning area, so it creates a space that, you know, if you needed to sit down and put shoes on or whatever, but it basically creates a space out of the weather in front of the changing room, so that you just kind of have a front porch sit down area. There'll be links there. There's a cartridge toilet that has been really handy, only used a few times. I just use RV. They look like Tide Pods for RV black tanks that you put down in it. And when we get back, you could put it in a household toilet, and just kind of rinse it out. But those enzymes help, in those little Tide Pod looking things, help clean that out really good. So it doesn't have odors. It's not stained. There's no residue. It's pretty nice. This is a standalone pop-up tent that can be used for the commode. It's like, I don't know, 2.5, no, probably 3 feet square at the bottom and 6.5 feet high. So it's a great place just to throw it on the side of the road. It's the round ribbon wire stuff in it where you untwist it and it pops up. And we've done a lot of roadside bathroom emergencies in that. And then also, if we don't want to set up the whole big shower and everything, then that's what we use for the commode. So that is available and can come with this. The Julka tent and hot water heater that have only been used once are available and can come with this as well. The Dometic comes with this. This is a camping table from Academy. It folds out into a nice big area with a side wire rack and a curved metal pole that comes up that you can hang things on. It's got a place where you can hang ladles, spatulas, spoons, all your stuff while you're cooking. And we use it to put our Blackstone on when there's not a picnic table, because most of the time when we were camping, we weren't in parks anyway. We were just out in the woods. So we would bring our own table with us. I know there's a lot. So the tents are great for most of what we're doing, but sometimes a year you just need a fan. This is a USB charged fan. It will run on medium all night, 8 hours plus. On high, it will only run about 5 hours. This is a buddy heater. It puts out more heat than you'll be able to stand. This is this was an optional purchase. It is a quilted liner that hangs inside the tent. And that way it insulates. It'll hold the cool in, or it'll hold the heat in better. So we've done some winter camping where we put that up, put the buddy heater in there, and you know, we'd only run the buddy heater for 10 or 15 minutes and then shut it off. And then in the middle of the night, if we were too cold, we'd turn it on for another 10 or 15 minutes to get some warmth in there. Zero Breeze air conditioner. It's got the optional battery, so it will run off of AC or DC. All the vents, all the wiring is here. And then there is a battery down below. Depending on what setting you're at and what kind of temperature it has to overcome, it will run all night, or occasionally it won't if it's really the middle of the summer and you have it turned on to freeze you out mode. If you keep it reasonable, it should last pretty much all night. And then it can be charged with solar, or it can be plugged into a AC or DC outlet to charge that battery. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. This is the Smittybilt XL, so it's the extra long. It's a California King as the dimensions of the mattress up there. And then it's got a rain fly on it right now. I don't have, this should tie down and would tighten the tent, but I don't have it pegged in right now. It's got the upgraded telescoping ladder. Every window and door has mesh, and then they also have, you know, the tent material, you know, waterproofing that you can close it in and make it a little bit darker, or definitely keep water out. 2 skylights, so if you have the rain fly off, you can open those up, enjoy breeze and stars. This is the factory mattress that came with the Smittybilt. It's fairly thin, so we've added, what is this? Well, this one's not. This is it. 2-inch, maybe 2.5-inch memory foam that is still in really good shape. The tent itself is in really good shape. It does keep out the water. There are a few places that you can see where before I kept it covered, it would, the weatherproofing cover would be on it, but it took a lot of direct heat in the middle of the summer. And it's got a few places where there's like some, I don't know what to call it. It's not mold, it's just, it almost looks see-through. And when it first happened, when I would reach up and touch it, it would be slightly tacky. So it's almost like it melted a sealing layer that was on this. The fabric is not penetrated, but it did kind of melt that sealant. I don't even know what it's made out of, but like a plasticky kind of layer that's on the inside. Kind of melted it. So there's no mold or mildew anywhere on this, but there are a few thin, I call them thin spots, whatever, where that stuff has melted. But it must not have melted all the way, because we've been in some significant rain and this thing has never let in water at all, even recently. Yeah, it's a little bit of discoloration up here. It is not mold, it is not mildew, it's abrasion. Yeah, you'll have to trust me or not, but that's it. The rest of it, I mean, everything, most of this tent looks, I mean, slightly used, you could tell, but it's more or less in like new condition. There's a few places I would have to just put in really good condition, you know, that have a little bit of that see-through kind of a deal, but for the most part, this thing is fantastic. Lots and lots of storage room. There is one of those pipe plugs that's missing. We took it out at some point and misplaced it. Water does not get in there unless you were to wash it and do like a straight stream from a garden hose. That is something, again, that can be replaced. It's like $5 or $10 at a plumbing store. If I can get by one of those, I'll do it myself, but I usually forget, so I'm not making any promises. This is the annex that goes underneath this section of tent. It zips in from this corner to that corner and all the way up and across. It has a floor, so you're out of the dirt. It's a great place for, you could put a cot down, or even 2 cots will fit. It keeps the ladder in the dry. A place to change clothes. It's got, just like the tent up here, it's got a zip-in door with bug screens, and it's got a window, bug screens, zip-through doors to keep the weather out. It's basically just an extension. It has only been used once or twice. It's in perfect shape. So just know that's available. So that gives you, you know, this whole area right here, and then a room right here. And the ladder is inside the room. It kind of comes down, and you can peg it out with tent pegs. This trailer will absolutely go anywhere. If your 4-wheel drive vehicle can go there, this will go behind it. If you can pull it through, it will go. I've been so impressed with it. Got a little spot here where some squirrels have chewed on it. This is a hardy board. It's not. It's basic. It's kind of like a. Well, it's kind of like a PVC board. It is not wood. So this transition piece right here, it's got bed liner on it, just like this green rhino lining, or raptor liner, or whatever it is, just like everything else. But it's not wood, so it's not going to warp and dry out and crack and have to be replaced. The rhino liner will probably have to be touch up, brush on, that kind of thing before anything else goes wrong. The only place I've had a little bit of issue is right here at this transition, because when you're getting the tent set up, you step here, and you stand on this while you put on these poles or whatever on the tent. And I've had to put some clear silicone in here to keep it from leaking. What it wants to do is it wants to leak down in through here. It gets behind this board right here and then into this compartment. It does not leak anymore. It's been rain tested, it's been water hose tested, but that silicone is going to have to be maintained, reapplied, every year or two or whatever, for that to continue to work. All right, that's that. So yeah, check out pictures If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask. I'll answer anything that I can. If I know, I'll tell you. If I don't, I won't. Take it easy.